Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here, and we are ready to go into Pharos. Now, I should probably prelude this place with a few things. First, when I was recording this, Ash wasn't interrupting my commentary with her big sigh.
Hey, Fran. Something's written on the wall.
And of course she can read it because
Engraved by someone, it seems.
she's the one that can do
It's
all the
quite
weird
old.
stuff, or knows all the weird stuff that no one else would know.
Lo, seeker in days unborn, God blade bearer.
Told ya.
Know you, this tower challenges the sky.
Not really.
Where the watcher, the ward of the three waits, soul hungry, unsated.
How do you challenge the sky?
He without power, want it not. He with power, trust it not.
Who built
with
this
sight.
place?
Heed it not.
It was probably that
Rend
dynasty king. I
illusion.
don't know.
Cut the true path. In blood, Wraithwall.
The Dynast King?
Who else
Does
do you
it
think?
startle
would-
you?
Yeah, that shouldn't be a surprise
The
at this
Dynast
point.
King took his sword from the Ocuria. It was here he claimed the Nethicite. He must have known he was not the last the Ocuria would choose. He left this for you. Rend illusion. Cut the true path. Words of much mystery, yet his blood runs in your veins. Perhaps it whispers to you the truth.
More crypticness in the plot. Unnecessary crypticness at that. And of course, we have to have a cool looking entrance opening. I am not disappointed. Okay, so the prelude I was talking about before we really get into this thing. So when I was recording this, I had like a 6-day weekend. It was really nice from work, and this was like approaching day 5. Day 5, yeah, must be day 5. And I started recording this. This is Pharos the First Ascent, and I'm like, well, okay. The dungeons in this game haven't been super long. So I'm like, well, why not just try and get through this in one sitting? And I started recording this dungeon at like, I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Yeah, this is not a short dungeon. Another thing is, post-commentary spoiler a little bit if you don't know. This is actually the final dungeon in the game, for the most part. Well, I'm going to refer to this as the final dungeon. It feels like the final dungeon. Well, the dungeon itself feels like the final dungeon. Where it's located in the plot does not feel like the final dungeon to me. So I didn't recognize it as the final dungeon. And so you're going to see, like, the longer I go through this dungeon, that the more I just kind of get antsy and just want to get to the end of it. And I do record more than that, so don't think that I stayed up like 12 hours recording this dungeon. Oh, we have the Altar of Night here. Of course we do. So, this talks about we need black orbs for the sealed way to open. Okay, well, we'll go get some black orbs then. How do we get black orbs? Now, this dungeon is kind of interesting because it'll have many different mechanics that work throughout it. Different mechanics for different areas. And, yeah, you'll see as we go through it, some of the mechanics will reflect the idea that we're in the final dungeon. Now there is kind of a dungeon after this, but I'm going to call it more like the final sequence, because once you choose to go there, you basically just... There's no bosses in the dungeon. Well, there's the final boss, but there's no... Chimera Brains are weak to Holy. Redis, I don't want you just spamming Holy, so let's take that away. Basically, there'll be kind of a short dungeon. There's no real treasures to pick up. It's just kind of... You go through the final sequence, the final plot of the game, you fight the final boss, and that's all there is to it. Okay, so these enemies, when they die, they drop a black orb. I think something also told you the monsters, or vanquishing the monsters, could give you the black orb. So I don't know how many we need. I'm just going to pick up as many as I can. If you take too long to pick up a black orb, it'll fly off. You'll hear it make a little sound when it flies off. And, yeah. So, I mean, if you're speedrunning this, you could probably just go back to the altar and activate it and go to the next floor right now. Yeah, so you're gonna see me go a little bit faster through some of this later on. And what else do I have to say about this right now? Oh yeah, plot-wise, this did not feel like the final dungeon to me. And here's kind of why. You know, we're going through, we're collecting these treasures of Wraithwall, and the way the plot set it up, I mean, it sounds like, okay, this should be like the second to last major dungeon in the game, but I would not have expected this to be the final dungeon of the game. It just didn't feel like it was quite there. We're still kind of dealing with Sid. We still have an artifact to collect. I was thinking, you know, we collect the artifact, or we destroy the Nethicite crystal, whatever is going to happen at the top of this tower, and then we would go on to the final dungeon. And the final sequence doesn't really feel like a final dungeon. Like, you'll have a few enemies to fight, you'll have a little bit of places to run through, but it's not really a dungeon so much as it is just a sequence to get to the final boss. So, yeah, this is the final dungeon, and I didn't realize it until, like, most of the way through, and I'm like, you know, all this stuff that this place has, it feels like it could be a final dungeon. But yeah, the plot, my opinion is, the plot of this game just did not set this up appropriately. Maybe that's just me. So yeah, I had that 6-day weekend. I was trying to, at this point in the game, I was trying to finish it before I had to finish the recording, before I had to go back to work. And, well, I did end up doing that. So, yeah, that was kind of nice. Mistmare. Tons of new enemies here. Oh, it's casting poison on us. That's wonderful. Oh, we'll cure that. Oh, hey, you're just appearing. Now, I kind of wish these guys wouldn't just spam attacks on it while it's still teleporting in and it's still immune to damage. That'd be kind of nice. Well, here, I'll just have you use an antidote. We have a billion of them. Not a remedy, an antidote. There we go, 84. 84, a billion. For a number of antidotes, they're basically the same number. You're not going to run out of antidotes at 84. Well, if those Mistmares are going to be more common, we might consider putting on the accessory that makes us immune to poison. Oh, yeah, I need to set her up with an Asuna Gambit. Or a Poison Gambit. Why don't we have an Asuna Gambit set up for Fran? I mean, I guess we got one on Bosch. And Fran's already doing a lot with her magic. There's also some point where I'm gonna turn off the steel gambits because I don't feel like I'm not pressured for money right now, so I don't really care as much for the loot. Yeah, we're gonna get a antidote gambit on Balthier here. And Fran, you don't need the black belt, so we can make you... Where's the immunity to poison? Silence, confused, because I saw more mist mares up ahead. And I'm sure these are not going to be the only mist mares. So, bubble, immune, disable, oil. Do I just... Oh, there we go. The Tourmaline Ring, which Fran doesn't have a license for. That's like a Accessories 5 or something. Yeah, it is Accessories 5. I guess I just kind of skipped past it because I didn't need it immediately. I'm just gonna, while I'm here, might as well just fill out some of these accessories a little bit. Yeah, we'll get Shades of Black in case we ever pick up that technique. I have no reason not to do that at this point. We have so many license points, I don't know what to do with them anymore. I don't think I'm even using those golden amulets anymore. Alright, let's carry on. Yep, there's more mist mares. There's at least one more mist mare. Come on, try to poison the Aquaga. That's interesting. So the thing that's casting Aquaga is called Mistmare. It's weak to fire, so it's a water type thing. Weak to... I don't know how that makes sense. I guess it doesn't have to. The music for this place, it's okay. I mean, I don't think it's super spectacular or memorable. It kind of feels like an epic final dungeon, maybe a little bit, but I don't know, it's serviceable. Oh, there's another Mistmare. Fortunately, Faraga does 6,000 damage to it. Yeah, we're still stealing stuff for now. And obtaining black orbs. Ooh, a thing to help us. Beasts of the tower, you seek its base. Rest of the orbs you seek. Yeah, this gives you the hint to kill the monsters for black orbs. But there's nothing that says like how many black orbs we have. Okay, I'll just tell you. You can only technically carry one at a time. Once we go back to the altar and put in the black orb, then you need to go get another one. This thing's casting blind on us. Wasn't that great? Well, let's start using some eye drops because, well, we have 1 billion of those as well. 1 billion, 77... Same thing, we're not going to run out. I'd be shocked if we ran out of antidotes or eye drops. Alright, if I don't get the steel, I don't really care. Oh, hey, there's a map. That is what we're looking for. Yeah, this is another reason that I kind of thought we were gonna... Oh, you can see it flying away. And there's the sound it makes when it disappears. Yeah, I mean, you can tell there's going to be an alert. Does it show us? It should show us multiple floors at once. No, maybe I'm just not scrolling the map right now. Okay. Oh, now the black orbs are doing to me what the treasures do to me. Really? We've had that happening the entire game. We'll re-establish Libra, and we'll run out here. And, because there's this treasure that I didn't get earlier, it's just a high ether. Which, high ethers are still pretty good. I think they restore like 200 or 250 magic. And at this point, well, we have another Altar of Night, so use a black orb. Well, we'll read the inscription, but yeah, they all basically do the same thing. All you really have to do is get black orbs. You get a little scene like that. And you just need to activate all of the Shrines of Night. And then it'll let you to the next floor. So it's nothing super complicated, which I appreciate that, but it's something that adds a little spice and uniqueness to the dungeon, like, oh, this is just the dungeon you walk through and battle enemies. No, this is a dungeon where you gather black orbs and put them into shrines to move onward. So yeah, I appreciate little gimmicks to dungeons like that. You know, it doesn't have to be like a super complicated puzzle or a super complicated fetch quest, but just something like enemies dropping black orbs. We're going to pick up another black orb. If I haven't mentioned it yet, you can only technically carry one at a time. Because if I had tried to go use the black orb at another shrine without picking one up, I would not have been able to do that. And these things are weak to holy. And Balthier has the Holy Lance, so that's good. We're just gonna let Bosch do some Suna in. No, the Black Orb ran away. Oh, that's okay, I guess. Another kind of hint that well, I mean, I guess not everything is weak to holy at this point yet, but there's going to be a lot of the enemies that in this dungeon will be weak to holy. Those Chimera Brains are weak to holy. And don't forget the Black Orb. And moving on. And this... Oh, Hermes Sandals. That'll grant haste to someone. Threshold of Night. Okay. So that's just where we have to come when we activate all those Shrines of Night. We can do that. A lot of this place, though, the layout does look very similar, and it does get kind of boring after a while. Just my thoughts. I mean, there is one area up ahead that it has a really cool mechanic. I like the mechanic. And it's not super complicated, but it's like just enough. However, the game doesn't fully explain to you some of the mechanics involved with it. But that'll be when we get to another floor. I don't remember which floor that's going to end up being. Oh, the Black Orb did it to me again. From what I experienced, there's no benefit to collecting more black orbs than what you need. I mean, obviously you get benefits in killing enemies, you get the experience and the LP. And Balthier's out here just fighting this thing on his own. And let's check this way before heading back, because this gets us to fake treasure chests. It's Mimo! I don't know if that thing in the middle, if that's just some big, like, mystical air gate. I mean, it looks like stuff is flowing upwards. It looks and sounds kind of neat. Alright, use a black orb. We've got black orbs. I think this is the part where I'm going to show you that you can't just use all of them. And you don't get a really good look at it, but if you did, you can kind of see that the orb thing that flew out went towards that door that's sealed. And don't worry, there's no like time limit on the altars of night or anything. They're not going to turn off if you don't activate them quick enough. Alright, so I still have this section which is going to loop me back out to the beginning, so I may as well fight these guys. Oh, you cast slow. Well, we have Chronos tier gambits for that. See? Once again, that's like the third different status that those mist mares are trying to inflict on us. They've done slow, they've done poison, they've done blind, they've done teleporting, which is just annoying. Now there's another Mistmare up there. I'm going to try and not bother him, but, yeah, guys, we're not going to bother him. We'll bother this guy. Althir, no, just attack him. He's yeah, he's holy weak, so I want you stabbing him with your holy lance. And let's see what else we got over here. More treasure, more fake treasure. I should have seen that coming. Bosch, attack the one that's right in front of us, please. And more Chimera Brains. I'm still going to show off most of the things. There's a couple points where I'll have to do some backtracking. Voluntary backtracking just to get treasures and make sure I got treasures. But otherwise, even though it does get a bit bland and boring, it is my first time going through the dungeon, so I do want to show you guys, you know, the full dungeon experience. And use a black orb. That should be all of them that we need. We got a little bit of a different scene there. The Seal of Night has been broken. Easy. Well, while we're right next to the refill crystal, let's do that. Again, there's no reason not to. It's free full healing. Yeah. I guess you're fine with that. Actually, what am I doing? I might be putting that Sage's Ring on Fran, and what that does is it will halve her MP consumption. Yeah, it also lets her absorb Holy. Not that that part's going to be irrelevant here. At least I don't think it is. Alright, past gameplay me is deciding how to best quickly get back to the place that's open. You can see it on the map where it's blinking. So I decided that this was probably the fastest path. Just kind of following the map, and oh, we found an X potion. And yeah, there's the room there doesn't connect. That's unfortunate. was trying to go through like the quickest way possible. You're going to see a lot more fast forwarding as well, or speeding up, whatever you want to call it. Alright, come on, let's get to the... Dang, Redis. You got angry at that little roly-poly bird. Leave the mist mirror alone. We don't need to fight everything multiple times. I mean, our levels, we feel fine as far as power goes. I know we're still going to need some levels. We're always going to need levels, especially for post-game stuff. And if I decide to go back and do those hunts. Okay, spoilers, I will go back and try to do those hunts in the post-game. But, yeah, with what happened to Diablos, that was kind of like... It was kind of like a lot of frustrations boiling over how that turned out. And it was some of those design things that I've talked about before and I just didn't like. And so, yeah, we're just going to be here now. Threshold of Night. Ahead the Watcher waits. First of 3. You without wisdom return where you came. Well, we'll find out what that means next time.